Let Bishop David G. Evans steer you towards some of the most meaningful, life-altering times with our Creator in Conversations.
God says, I want to have a conversation with you. Why? Right now, my thoughts are higher than yours. My ways are a little different than yours.
Man himself is the fruit of a conversation. God talking to Jesus, Jesus talking to the Holy Ghost talking back to God. They're having a conversation concerning you.
But if you start talking to me, you'll get to understand my ways and my thoughts. So God wants this conversation so we can ultimately become all He's created us to be.
I know the thoughts I have concerning you. And I just want to have a conversation with you so you can hear what I'm thinking about you.
Cultivate the most important relationship you'll ever have. Order Conversations today. When you write to us, visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480.
It's the catalyst for change you've been waiting on. New Mind, New Me, from Bishop David G. Evans.
I want to be loved. Why do I take the person that loves me and kick them to the curb? I want to be wealthy, but I spend all my money. You were created and given a slave, a doulos, a servant called your mind. Your mind is out of order when it questions your command.
If you are ready for true transformation, Bishop David G. Evans would like to bless you with the New Mind, New Me 4-message DVD set. Order today, and you will also receive Bishop Evans' national best-selling book, Healed Without Scars, as well as the Healed Without Scars music CD.
My mind's going where I tell it to go. It'll never go back. It's my mind. It's going to do what I say.
All yours when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today. Be prepared to watch a new you emerge.
What if you could make one decision to unleash everything great in your life? Would you do it? Would you say yes? Aren't you tired of your relationships, your health, and so much more suffering because you lack the truth you need to change? The life you desire is within your reach. You can achieve all the success, happiness, and prosperity you deserve by simply learning the secrets that lead to real personal transformation. Change is hard, but not impossible. You just have to make one radical decision to get real. And there's no better authority on the real steps to change than David G. Evans.
Some men trust in chariots. Some men trust in horses. But we will trust in the Lord.
David G. Evans is leading the charge to bring you the power to change your life. He is committed to the mission of helping you transform and become a person of power, and it starts with his all-new system to change your situation. At the centerpiece of this life-altering collection is David Evans' groundbreaking training course, From Ridiculous to Radical to Real. This means war. In this series, you will discover the steps to change. This series includes 2 powerful messages, each on winning the battle in your mind and cultivating a language of faith. That's 4 messages, 4 power-filled hours of material. If you want a better marriage, this series has the answers. If you want to achieve financial independence God's way, the secrets in this series will empower you to make it happen. If you want a life of power, anointing, and influence, this series will show you how to get it, and there's more. You're looking for serious, immediate results. So Bishop Evans will also include one of his best-selling messages called Weapon of Warfare. This classic teaching will build you up to start fighting in the spirit for what you deserve. This powerhouse collection, From Ridiculous to Radical to Real and Weapon of Warfare, will give you all the biblical strategies you need to change anything in your life. This collection will ship to you immediately with your gift today to David G. Evans Ministries. This ministry is revolutionizing the kingdom by empowering believers. Souls are being saved daily, and we need your help to grow this impact in a real way. Call now and sow your seed of just $35 for your transformation to help people around the world. Your $35 love gift goes straight to the front lines of ministry, providing help to those that need it most. Call now. Make the decision to get the power you need to change your life forever.
last night.
Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call and talk show in America, live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on any smart device worldwide. You can hear us and see us live at David G. Evans 1. Won't you please inbox someone, text someone, tweet someone, call someone on the phone and let them know that On Point is broadcasting right now. That's at David G. Evans 1 on any smart device. Our phone number, 1-866-743-8267, 1-866-743-8267. Let's talk this morning, 1-866-743-8267, 1-866-743-8267. Of course, joining me once again is our world-famous co-host, Reverend Nicholas A. Smith.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Man, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm here.
I wish this weather would get itself straight here.
I know. 60 to 40 to 30 to 20 to...
These drops are starting to be a problem.
Yeah, man.
A lot going on. Of course, those of you that are joining us for the first time, welcome. On Point is a Christian-based call-in talk show where we talk about those things which are relevant to life, as well biblical things, as well as current events, politics, sports, all of that, but all from kingdom perspective. Our opinions are all driven by our faith, driven by what we believe in, what the Word of God says, whether we like it or not. Okay, so it's
Yep.
but it's a call-in talk show where, as long as we are behaving in a way that glorifies the Lord, we talk about things we agree on and the things we disagree on. We just don't have to be disagreeable while we're talking.
Amen.
So it's not like it's a reality show, but it's not a drama-filled, managed chaos reality show. Amen. Very busy week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm amazed that everybody seemed to drop out around the same time. I think it was what should have been done a while ago, because it was obvious to me that some of the candidates had no shot.
Right.
It would have. I don't know if my president's leap out of obscurity into the White House gave people encouragement that you could come from nowhere, apparently nowhere, and do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That and during the Obama era when they were trying to run all those people the first two times. You know. It's crazy how a black man can be so polarizing and cause such a reaction.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all
that
the country responded to him being president.
Yeah, the response was just...
Voters responded, we're going to get as far away from this as we can get, and we don't care how crazy the candidate is you give us.
Yep. And Obama, I kind of felt bad when he said this. He said, after Trump got elected, he said, I wonder if it was somewhat my fault that America reacted like I don't think he expected America to react the way that they did.
Well,
to his presidency.
I think that he had a naivety that all of us had. His was awakened by the attitudes and opposition, the type of opposition that he ran up against, the vehemence of it, the disrespect, and then the country's reaction, whereby a lot of us were still asleep because we're used to someone who's not black being in the White House. But we had kind of grown anesthetized, I guess. We were napping on what we hoped had been a change in the fundamental way people feel in America. And then when my president got elected, I started getting changes on the board I was on, attitudinal changes at the gym, and I don't avoid these conversations. I started having conversations with people. Why suddenly are you acting like this?
Yeah.
And a couple people say, well, we're in charge again. I'm like, really?
Yeah. When did y'all stop being in charge?
When you thought we we were?
Yeah, black folk never thought we were.
No. But it was an eye opener in that things had not changed underneath as much as we had hoped that it had.
Absolutely.
And it came out in such a visceral way that I started feeling like that the changes that we are experiencing were just surface changes. but that mindsets for a lot of people hadn't shifted at all. As a matter of fact, equality feels like a threat to some people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as long as I'm above you, even if we both can be poor, lives jacked up, as long as I got some superiority to you.
Yeah.
Which to me is it's illogical and crazy.
I've been telling you for a long time. Racial votes, very illogical.
Yeah.
Very illogical.
Yeah.
I know people that are suffering from policies that this president and our former governor in this state put in place. And they voted for him repeatedly until he went out of office.
Yep.
And they were being harmed by what he was doing.
Just so this other person won't get in. And honestly, even though I disagree with it somewhat, I appreciate the Republicans for their unity.
The unity?
In the sense of they won't like a certain person as a Democrat.
Right.
And they'll put all their weight behind this person, even though they don't like them.
Yeah.
Just so this person won't win.
Yeah.
And Democrats, which is one of the reasons why I wonder if Trump's going to win again, I think this...
we can't get together on it.
We're fighting them and fighting each other.
Yeah, and I think this point towards solidarity should have happened months ago.
Yeah.
So that the efforts and the money could be focused on getting whoever they wanted to get elected.
Yeah.
I was surprised of a few things. I saw the interview with that just dropped out the day before yesterday.
Warren.
And she was talking about the Sanders supporters and the kind of things they were doing. And I look at Sanders, and he does not seem to represent the things that his constituency, the people working for him, are doing, which was some really nasty stuff that she brought out. And I don't know how he can not address that in a more aggressive way than he has. But the other thing that I think that's going to be a real eye-opener for a lot of people is Senator Sanders he's senator, right? He's talking about these plans. I've yet to hear him say how he's going to pay for it. The only way to pay for it is a drastic increase in taxes on somebody, or drastic cut in programs, or both. But he's not talking about that. Why aren't people that support him asking the question?
I think because he has that passion, that charisma.
Yeah.
That he's like Trump on the other side. He's tapped into an anger on that side.
Okay.
And he knows how to talk to that side.
Okay.
To me, Elizabeth Warren talked to that side, but had a plan to go along with it.
Okay. Yes.
But she wasn't yelling, screaming.
Right.
And she was providing solutions.
Right.
Rather than just here's what it is. They're trying to mess with you.
Am I hearing you say you thought Warren was a better candidate than?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Than Bernie Sanders?
Absolutely. And some of the political, like James Carville and all them, they said Elizabeth Warren, out of the whole group, was the best politician.
Okay.
And her Senate career has shown.
I can see that.
That she probably was the best one.
I think the argument has resurfaced, at least in my mind. I've been thinking about it a lot, and also thinking about, from a biblical point of view, the difference in requirements for politicians as it relates to gender. Men are rated on their competency. Women tend to be rated on their virtue.
Right.
And that if they are not soft and dainty and apparently, motherly and all that stuff, that America doesn't care for them that much. But if they're tough, like they're kind of suggested to be, then they're unfeeling and calculated and all this stuff. So they're measured on their virtue, but guys are measured on their competency. But what blows my mind is less than competent men get major positions.
Absolutely.
So a guy can be a horrible person, but we still think he's qualified, so we'll accept him. A woman can be really qualified, more qualified than a male, but if she's not had the measure of virtue that we think she ought to have, she's not going to make a good politician.
They got Elizabeth Warren on maybe one or two mistruths, lies.
Okay, yeah.
Now, they keep harping on that, but not the lies of, like you said, of all the men that they...
30-some thousand or 60-some thousand?
Come on.
Come on, man.
And
the stuff that happened before he got elected.
Yeah.
they would have killed Obama for that.
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. Absolutely.
And if Warren had the record with men that President Trump had with females, they would have killed her candidacy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, so I don't understand why they're hammering on her to endorse somebody when I haven't heard anybody hammer on my friend Cory Booker on who he's going to endorse.
Right, 'cause I don't think he's endorsed anybody.
And he hasn't opened his mouth.
Nope. And my fear is, with all them endorsing Biden at one time, the Bernie crew is going to do like they did last time. Some are going to vote for Trump or not vote at all.
Well, here's the problem I have.
And that's
with
a dilemma I have.
So you're telling me that age group that votes for him hasn't learned from the last 3 or 4 years?
They are passionate and intent.
Even though it's going to harm them.
Yes.
You think that they would be willing to go through 4 more years of what we've been through just to prove a point?
They did it last time. Now, last time I can somewhat understand why. Because
I don't understand it at all.
Not for them not voting.
Okay, I
I'm
understand.
talking about for their anger. They should have still voted.
Why were they angry? Their guy didn't get chosen.
I think they were angry last time because of what Hillary Clinton and DNC did to Bernie during the campaign. Now they did him dirty.
Is it suggested that Bernie is a spotless politician?
No, I'm not saying that.
Or did they bring any of the stuff into play that he? Because a lot of stuff he says to me is just to. I think he does what Trump does to his constituency, Bernie does to his. Say stuff that he knows they want to hear. Whether he can ever get it done or not, I don't even think that's the purpose of it.
Yeah, to me, he's the other side. He's the left side of Trump.
Okay.
And I think he was a great candidate for 2016. But
Okay.
for where we are now, I don't think he's the right person for it.
Well, the bottom line is that, the people that support his policies are going to be the people that are abjectly outraged when taxes go through the roof to pay for this stuff. They're acting like the people that want their tuition to go away are acting like that's no effect. It's not going to like vaporize into the air.
Yeah.
Businesses are going to suffer. People are going to lose jobs. Families are not going to get what they're supposed to get. I mean, this thing's going to have a rippling effect. And all just so I can say I'm not going to pay a debt I made.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and people forget, they talk about Europe, but Denmark, all those other places that have those benefits, their taxes are high.
Extremely high.
And you get the benefits now.
Extreme, not just high.
Yeah.
I mean, if we woke up with Denmark's taxes or some of those other countries, we'd need medication.
Yeah, we would.
Because it's way, they're not talking 20, 10% for poor people, 7%, 6% for poor people, maybe 30% for people with money. They're talking about 50%,
Absolutely.
sometimes 60.
Yeah, somebody's got to pay for all
We
this.
don't know what taxation is.
No. And when Warren presented her plan, I couldn't see it getting done because the power that the wealthy have. But
Pie in
her
the
plan
sky.
made sense.
But pie in the sky.
Because they would have bought as many politicians as possible.
Pie in the sky.
Now maybe you can help me.
That money is not giving up that money. You hear me? There's got to be another way to get to it.
Now here, help me out
Okay.
with this. You've been around more wealthy people than me.
Couple.
Yes. To me, you hear people say this. When they're poor, they're not a big fan of capitalism.
Okay.
And Republicans. When
Okay.
they start making money,
Then all of a sudden they're Republican friendly.
yes.
Absolutely.
And people have admitted this, but they still are Democrats. But they're like, I finally start making some money, and I can see why they vote Republican.
Absolutely. Haven't I said for years that Republican policies benefit me, but not the people I serve?
Right.
So I can't even consider becoming a Republican, even though some of their policies do help me.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. But how, at what point, how much more money do you need if they're going to bump my tax rate from 15% to 30%? If I'm already worth $700 million,
Okay.
I mean, I can't give up 15% to benefit. I mean, like, really, do I need to make it? I mean,
Yes.
I could, but
Yes, I
but,
do.
I mean,
I do.
ethically speaking,
I think the problem.
But you get what I'm saying?
The problem.
Why am I wanting to hurt a whole crowd of people?
Watch this. The problem with us is poor folk tend to give up a percentage quicker than rich folk do.
Right.
Because how do you measure 1% more of hard times? But 1% more of profit you can measure very real.
Right.
All right. So the problem for us is that there never seems to be a compromising place. Okay. I think if both sides decided to give up something, or one side said, okay, can we get another 2% from you guys? Now watch what they're going to do. I'm going to get you. I can get another 2% from you, but I'm going to change a couple laws so your deductions change. So it's going to be a cycle because they want it back in the system.
Right.
The problem for us poor people is that we don't contribute to the system that much. It takes a whole bunch of us to contribute what one person does with money. So the system is looking at it in this way, I think. Who impacts the system the most?
Right.
Those are the people we need to take care of the most. Now, the problem I have is capitalism is not balanced.
Right. That's my issue.
I understand that it gets me that poverty is a function of capitalism. Without low wages and all, these guys don't make money. But there's got to be a middle distance where you can, what they don't want to do is charge more because they feel like the buyers can do less.
Right.
It's a cycle.
Yeah.
But I believe there's a compromise that can be met. Warren's thing, let's go after every corporation, kill them all. That sounded good, but that was just silly.
But 5% ain't gonna kill most of them.
But it ain't. We're in position to say that,
but
because they ain't asking us for 5%.
But they're asking us for 30%. 30% of $30,000.
Okay.
Right.
But
versus 10% of
that needs to come down.
That's all I'm saying.
All right, they need to come
down.
down.
Got to balance
but
it out.
The bottom line is, you don't have room to sacrifice. You got mouths to feed.
Right.
They feel like they don't have room to sacrifice because they got folk to keep employed who have mouths to feed.
Now part of me agrees with that. Understand that part. But the other part, I wonder if some of that is drivel, as you say.
Of course it is.
Because if I'm getting a $10 million bonus, but I'm laying people off because I'm saying wages are low. To me, that argument doesn't hold much weight when, you know what I'm saying? Instead of me,
there's no compassion in the equation.
There's
no compassion in the equation. I think sometimes, it's like the government. Yeah. How do you spend, what, $60, $70 million so far just to send the president on weekends away?
Right.
And tell a homeless person you have no money?
Yes.
How do you do that?
Right.
How do you raise your defense budget to $1 billion?
Okay.
And you've got $100 billion, and you've got veterans sleeping on the street.
Yeah.
I don't know why somebody doesn't say, okay, we're going to raise the defense budget, but we're going to take care of this veteran homeless problem too.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Why can't we do both?
It seems so logical to me.
Right.
But government and their solutions are not usually pragmatic.
Right.
They are always, I don't like using that word, they seem to always be to the advantage of some people and the disadvantage of others.
Right. Maybe the context. This is my first full-time job.
Okay.
Right? So all the jobs are part-time. So I've watched you, and the church may not know this.
Okay.
They know it, but they don't know the details.
Yeah.
I've watched you give up stuff that benefits you to benefit the staff here.
Right.
So I'm used to seeing that model where you can go out, take care of you, and understand you got to make some sacrifices to make this whole thing
work. Yeah.
And I'm like, why can't other people do the same thing to a certain degree?
Maybe they don't see themselves. Maybe they don't. I think
excuse my naivete.
The pressure for us, pressure for me, is that my quote unquote performance dictates whether the people around me are able to pay their mortgages, whether we're able to pay the mortgage on the church, whether the employees can feed their families, whether So I'm under this 24-hour day, 7-day week pressure of what I do impacts their lives in a very real way.
Yeah.
Groceries on the table.
Yeah.
When you are a CEO, you have to have that concern.
Right.
But there's a dimension of CEOs. There's a genre, or whatever you want to call it, a generation of CEOs now that have no concern for the people that work for them. And it's really seen when you got a guy get $100 million bonus, but tell his people he can only get a 25-cent an hour raise.
Right.
When a part of that $100 million bonus would pay for the raises.
Absolutely. I mean, I say that because you said it publicly. How many dates you turned down?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's common knowledge.
Absolutely.
That you turn a lot of dates down to
So
stay
I can
home,
be here.
So you can be here.
Yeah.
But
I mean, dates that would probably give me another
yeah.
$500,750,000 a year.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Real money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And people say, well, I'm not into material things. Well,
Right.
I like 750 like
I know
everybody
that's
else.
right. I know that's right.
You know what
I'm
I'm
trying to
saying?
tell you something.
My grandchildren's feet grow every day.
Every day.
You hear what I'm saying?
But they do the scale of I think I saw it this week.
And I hear y'all saying the Lord's gonna bless you. I'm waiting for him to do it.
Right. Well, hopefully,
I'm waiting.
we working on some stuff for you. So
I'm waiting. That's $750 a year for like 20 years.
Yeah, that adds up.
You telling?
Shoot.
I'll get my attitude back. All right, let's go.
We'll hopefully on this podcast and stuff will.
Yeah, I'm hoping too, man.
But they did this.
But
sorry. Go
I
ahead.
think there's an issue.
Yeah.
Capitalism has its dark side.
Okay.
But capitalism is what drives this country.
Right.
It's not love. It's capitalism.
Right.
And capitalism is surgical.
Yeah.
Now, totally off base. Depravity, or what you've been deprived of before you get saved, becomes your challenge after you get saved.
Okay.
What you've been deprived of, or what your depravity is, becomes an issue for you.
Yes.
If it was it before you got saved, it is after.
Mm-hmm.
So, some of the stuff that we see happening, and we wonder why people, athletes and all them, would make the mistakes they make and lose everything. It's because they've either had been deprived of something or depraved in an area.
Right.
And once they get the big bucks, it becomes the major issue for them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is why as soon as they get their first paycheck, the first thing you do is go buy a Bentley.
Because
Or
what they were deprived of, they try to fix.
Do you know one of the quarterbacks bought a rookie, got a big contract, bought a Bentley, and made the mistake of taking it through a regular car wash. The Bentley was so big it got stuck in the car wash. He didn't realize you're supposed to get that.
You're supposed to have that car hand washed.
There you go. He took it through
a Bentley through the car wash?
Supposed to have it hand washed. Or do it yourself at home.
Right. He took it through and it got stuck in the car wash.
The car wash didn't know he couldn't take it through?
Right. I'm like, shouldn't the car wash know, like, Bill, bruh?
You should go to the place where they wash Bentleys.
Yeah, detail it.
Because there's some places that your Bentley will fit through.
Yeah.
But it's big enough for them.
Mm-hmm. He took it through a regular car wash.
Oh, no.
But again, what you're deprived of, you get it, and then you still live like you're.
Which is why our politicians get in the trouble that they do. Their depravity, or what they've been deprived of, becomes a challenge for them after they get noticed.
Right. That is true. Money doesn't change you. It makes you more of who you already are. It
just reveals stuff.
A whole lot.
So, what do you think? Who do you think are going to be asked to be a part of the incoming crew going into the election? Who do you think is going to be offered Secretary of State? Who do you think is going to be offered, the Vice Presidency? Where do you think that's going?
The VP, I think he needs to get somebody a little. If Biden gets a nomination, which he probably will, somebody on the progressive side.
So you think he needs to offer it to Bernie? No,
Bernie's too far over. Now, I'm not sure if they'll get along. And plus, I'm not trying to be ageist.
Does the Vice President have to get along with the President?
No, but what I mean, I'm not trying to be ageist when I say this.
Okay.
So Bernie's already in his high 70s. Biden's in his high 70s. They need somebody with some youth in there that will bring in that progressive.
I agree with you 100%.
Youth.
The biggest thing for me as I've watched this pan out is the age of the two guys that seem to be leading the charge. I'm looking at my president now. He doesn't look healthy at all. I'm waiting for. Every day I wake up and wonder, is he going to have some medical issue? Because he looks like a time bomb. You know, and then I'm looking at Biden, and I'm like, yo, these guys are really up there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wonder if they're going to surround themselves with some young minds and some intermediate age minds, so they can have the brain trust around them that they need to stay focused and stay in contact with what's going on right now. But I'm concerned. I think the best brains, the two best brains, and people are going to think I'm losing my mind. I know you think I'm losing it lately, but the two best brains are no longer in the race.
Okay.
That was Warren.
Yeah.
And that was Buttigieg.
Yep. Those are my first thoughts.
The two best brains
will be the great
are not
VPs.
there. Yeah. Two best brains.
I'm just not sure if the country's ready
Country's
for
not ready for a first man.
Yeah,
No.
Even if he's the VP, I'm not
They're
sure
not
if
ready
they're ready
for
for
first VP's man. No.
Yeah, I just
They're not ready for it.
I'm wondering if he's under the radar, but they've been talking about him a little more every now and then.
Okay.
It's Kennedy's son, from Massachusetts. One of the Kennedys.
I think they need to bring somebody out people are familiar with.
Yeah.
I think bringing somebody out where people say, huh?
Yeah.
I don't think they need that.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be a boost.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, this team looks good, I'm coming.
Yeah.
But I definitely think it needs to be somebody young.
Yeah.
Well, just about anybody's younger than Biden. But it needs to be somebody younger than Biden. All right. So that he be a 60-year-old,
Right.
it'll look like he brought his son, to,
Some people
the
floated
campaign.
Bloomberg as VP, but
no.
I mean, I know he knows where Trump's bodies are buried, but
he's about as personality driven as the present vice president, who I think is just just dead in the water. But I think Bloomberg would not be a bad financial person.
Treasury.
I think he would be wonderful there. I think Warren would be a good vice president.
Mm-hmm. Like Mayor Pete and Klobuchar, they could be on the team like his cabinet.
I'd bring them in. I'd bring them in because to me, Mayor Pete was the only one that didn't struggle with the English language.
Yep.
I mean, he was always articulate.
Yeah.
99% of the time had the right answers, even if they caught him off guard.
Yeah.
He knew what to do. So, you can't take away his strengths, and because they were there.
Yeah, he's obviously got them.
Doc.
And the gay one was the one that was the most centrist out of all of them.
Yeah, wasn't he though?
He was the center, the most centered out of all of them.
But war veteran.
Yeah.
Military guy. Successful military.
Middle of
guy.
America.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So I'm not surprised at his points of view. So my president fired his chief of staff.
Yes. He brought in Mark Meadows.
Who's Mark Meadows?
He's a representative in Congress. He got rid of Mulvaney.
Okay. That's how bad it is for me. I didn't even know Mulvaney was the secretary.
Yeah.
Chief of staff. I didn't even know he was.
Yeah. He's on. This is his third one.
Well, why did he get rid of this one? Because this one was doing what he wanted him to do, right?
This one he claimed he didn't like how he managed the leaks in the impeachment case, and
how does he manage people's mouths? He can't manage people's mouths.
I know.
He disagreed with President Trump.
Probably.
That's all. That's all.
And they say Trump's on a vengeance.
He asked him not to do something, and he got mad. And maybe it was his vengeance nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know why he's wasting his time with this pubescent nonsense. You got a country that's reeling from this virus thing, and he's steady trying to say, ain't but 20 people sick. Come on.
Yeah, he's a doctor and he knows.
But one of the things my president says that really exposes his ignorance is he knows more than the generals, he knows more than the CIA people, he knows more than the doctors. Yeah. How do you say that with a straight face?
Right. When 2 people just died of the virus this morning.
It's just so laughable, though.
Yeah, but I think the problem is, in the Trump organization, no one contradicted him. He's surrounding himself with people that do not contradict him. They don't even react. They even cover for him when he says something totally ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know how Kellyanne Conway keeps a straight face.
I know.
And I don't know how she walks down the street with any kind of dignity.
Yeah.
Because I've seen her make excuses for some things that if the situation was reversed, it would not be acceptable to her.
She lies through her teeth. And I don't know how her and her husband get along. Because, her husband.
They say he's hot.
He can't stand Trump.
They say he does not hold his tongue.
He doesn't. He does not hold his tongue, not one bit.
I'm sure he's not saying this stuff publicly and not talking to her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
But I'm sure some of these people's teenage children are, for real, Dad, for real?
Yeah.
Gotta be. I don't know.
Stacey Abrams. People talked about her as a potential VP.
I don't know. I can see what's her name from California before I can see Stacey Abrams.
Kamala?
Kamala Harris.
Okay.
I can see her as a VP.
Yeah.
She's more known.
Yeah.
And you've made me understand that this thing is personality driven. Yeah. And Stacey Abrams doesn't have the same, I think, public leverage that Kamala Harris has. She did run for president.
Yeah.
And she did do well at one point.
Mm-hmm.
But if they pull Warren up, I don't know if that would be good. I don't think Klobuchar would be good. I think Pete would be too controversial.
Yeah.
I think Bloomberg would have two old guys in there again. And although I think some of these people need to be cabinet worthy.
Yeah.
But I guess I've been trying to figure out, where did Biden come from in the last couple of weeks? Because I don't know whether the reaction was to our president, but all of a sudden it looked like he was floundering and it was over, and then boom.
Yeah. I think what helped him was he lost some of the northern states to Bernie.
Okay.
But when they got to the South, Bernie he would not do well in the South.
Okay. Why?
But Biden, he's too progressive.
Okay.
And most liberals, he's way too far over.
Okay.
And Biden, when he went to the South, just wrecked everything because black folk trust him.
Yeah.
They support him.
And my man endorsed him really, really solidly.
The
guy from South Carolina. That's the head of something.
Yeah.
What's his name? Jim who? Clyburn.
Clyburn. Yeah.
Yeah, Clyburn, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That endorsement was without equivocation.
Yeah. People in the South
and people trust him.
Yeah.
So when he said, "Okay, this is where we're going," they went that way. But then that tells me he's going to have to turn down a position in the new government if Biden wins. I don't see him giving up his post. I think he's powerful where he is.
Yeah. To me, the answer to Trump is not to go to the other side. We need some stability somewhere in there.
Well, I think people want a restoration of stability.
Yeah.
Integrity, truth, reasonably looking truth. The proximity of truth is what we want back.
Yeah, if you lying to me, at least don't let me know it.
Man, don't tell me you gonna believe your lying ears, or you gonna or what are you gonna believe what I'm telling you? Yeah. Come on, man. So let's talk about this coronavirus for a minute.
Okay.
I'm thinking the other day. Now I'm 68, and I'm thinking of all the flus, all the viruses that I have lived through. Hong Kong, swine, bird. Anybody think of anything else? There's at least 5 that I rattled off the other day. That were worldwide.
It was like the Mexican one.
Yeah, we had Ebola for a while. Anthrax, that was something man introduced. But in my lifetime, we've been through 5, 6, or 7 worldwide pandemics. And the whole world's not getting ready to die. The virus is going to burn out. They tell me kids are not catching this one. If they are, it feels like a cold. It's guys my age and older that are having a problem. It doesn't seem to matter where you are in the country.
Yeah.
It's just who you've been around.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing as all the other flus that happened. Senior citizens were being threatened by it.
Yep.
We went through a period where people got sick. Everybody got well.
Yep. We
didn't need to go. We don't need to go out and buy food for a year.
They buying toilet paper and all just.
Your president signed what?
The first thing. Who can afford to go buy food for a year?
Right.
How many people do you know?
Yeah, right.
I can't jump out and buy. And number 2, where am I going to put it?
Thank you. But people are illogical during. So, like, for instance, when a snowstorm comes up and they're afraid of the electricity going out,
man,
why are you buying frozen pizza? The oven's not working. The oven ain't working. Literally, they're like, well, the power might go out. Why do you have all frozen stuff that you need to keep frozen and cook to heat up?
Makes no sense.
Power is out. You can't heat it up.
Makes no sense.
It's a snowstorm.
We don't. And the likelihood of being stuck in your house for more than a day or two is highly unlikely.
Right.
You got guys that are making millions of dollars a year just going around shoveling snow.
Yeah.
Please, they'd sit around praying for it.
Right. Go buy some bread, some peanut butter and jelly,
Man,
and just
you know,
something that can hold you. You know,
turn the fireplace on, roast some marshmallows. If you got it. You know,
Gotta get them eggs that you can't cook though.
you know, going to the grocery store during when these epidemics is like, even a snowstorm is like ridiculous.
I don't get it.
They're stocking up like they're gonna be in
And
the
they
house for
do
a
it
month.
every time.
Every single time.
And the supermarket is like, yay, yay. You go to the store and everything's like missing.
Right.
Like, what
Like,
happened?
come on, yo.
How long you gonna be in the house?
Thank you. We back in the day was just canned food, bread, water, the stuff that you need to, you know, that you ain't got to heat up.
I
You can
don't
just
recall us
Peanut butter
going.
and jelly.
I don't recall
Right.
us going to the store. I mean, my mom used to can stuff, so
Yeah.
if stuff went down, we just went in the
get
pantry.
and bang, bang,
Yeah,
bang.
man, we had everything there: string beans, peaches,
Yeah.
you know, all kind of stuff. But I don't think people do that much
No,
anymore, right?
no. They don't think
They
logically.
had the mason jars, man,
Yeah, put them
full of food in the pantry. Saved a ton of money.
absolutely. But you're right. It is gonna. I think somebody said somebody had it in Cherry Hill. I think
Camden.
Camden, the coronavirus.
Yeah.
When I saw
One of our
Voorhees.
one of our doctors here was in one of the hospital
Okay.
that the person was at.
Okay.
And didn't know until after it's over,
Okay,
of course.
okay.
But they got the schools. My cousin in college, she's like, well, if the coronavirus hits the school, everybody's gonna be locked in their dorms and have to do online classes. And,
Please. One school
You
said
know.
they would close down for the rest of the semester.
are they gonna get their money back?
I bet you they don't.
Shoot.
My niece
Look.
is in Seattle,
Bet,
and
look,
they have them all working from home for the next couple of
Weeks?
weeks.
Not because there's no shot for it.
yeah.
So you got to treat it like you got the flu.
And just work through it. I mean,
I mean, I don't know why people
You think
panic.
people are freaking out because you can't go get a shot like the flu.
Well, I mean, every time there was one of those flus I've been talking about, they had to develop the vaccine for it. So the next time it came around,
Right.
boom, everybody was all right. But
yeah,
that it's not like it's not like going down to the dollar store and getting a vial or whatever Did you see the dumb stuff where people? I'm not, I don't drink liquor and stuff, but folk thought buying that beer Corona was going to give
yeah, because it's a beer.
For
It's
real?
No way.
Hello,
for real.
the beer comes from Mexico.
They didn't do
The
that.
coronavirus.
Yeah, they
came-
did.
Yes, they did.
Yes, they did.
Corona beer had to send a statement out. Like,
I'm trying to tell you something. Trying to tell you something. I mean, just people's minds are just amazing to me.
yeah, and then closing all the borders and stuff off and all that. It's here.
Inflating the prices of those masks that are
But
not working.
I asked the doctor. I said, "Is this one of those real epidemics, or is this one of those that's hyped this up?"
It's
And
man-made.
he's like, "It's more hyped up than
Oh, I'm sure
yeah.
I'm sure
somebody making some money."
people making money.
Yeah,
The face mask people, the hand sanitizer people, the people that sell food. I mean, this thing's gonna be a moneymaker for some
Oh
people.
yeah, the news, all of them. Just
All
the more
that.
they keep talking about
yeah,
it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Gonna have everybody walking around looking at each other sideways.
Yeah, and they say the masks that you buy don't even work. You need one of those masks
You need
that close up.
You need a real.
Yeah, that cycles the
But it
oxygen.
has to be fitted to your face.
Yeah, and Bezos asked his vendors not to hike the prices up, which means you can raise them, just don't gouge the people.
Yeah. Give them a little bit. I mean, I'm at the airport last month.
Yeah.
Last month, masks all over.
Are they?
I don't know if you didn't see it when you were
I saw a couple people.
yeah, people walking around with that mask. They said the regular mask does not work against this, and people are just
Pathogens get
When I was in Japan, I didn't know that when you have cold or flu, they require you wear a mask until it's passed.
Okay.
So we were on the train and folk are on there. I'm like, well, what's going on? And something going on. They said no, they have a cold.
okay.
Because they are really stickler about spreading your germs.
Yeah.
Not telling them to stay home, but if you're coming out,
Yeah.
cover your face up,
Right.
do the whole thing. I don't know.
Right.
But I didn't reminisce. I thought about how many of these worldwide pandemics that we have lived through in the last 60-some years, and there's been at least 7 that I know of. And usually seniors are the ones that are more vulnerable than young people.
Yeah.
And eventually it burns out
Yeah. Literally.
because for some reason they have cycles, which kind of made me wonder from time to time if some of the stuff we've been dealing with are lab mistakes.
Oh my gosh. I believe the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, they claimed it came from somebody eating a bat in China or something like that, or one of those things.
I don't get
I
it.
think it's man-made.
Now,
Just like I'm not sure that AIDS came from a monkey
Right.
over in Africa. Nah, come on, man.
Nah. Because when I was watching, what was that Bond movie? The last one with Daniel Craig.
Okay.
When, what's the guy's name? Not Goldfinger. Whatever, one of the guys. And the country was setting up these terrorist attacks on different parts of the earth to build this whole security network.
Yeah.
And I'm like, would our country and the nation actually, not just our country, but people actually do that in real life? And I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised.
They set scenarios to cause things to happen. I believe that.
So they can increase
Yeah,
technology,
I believe,
security,
I believe
and
that.
money.
I believe that. I believe money sets scenarios that stimulates the need for what they're selling. Yeah.
So and they're willing to hurt
Sacrifice,
people.
yeah,
Sacrifice a few people.
That's what a
just
war
to-
is. War is about land or oil.
Yeah.
You know, and they're willing to sacrifice people to get it.
Yep.
I mean, how many people got wealthy in the Bush administration
Oh.
with the whole Iraq thing?
Oh yeah.
And you know, the guy that was sick all the time, I can't remember his name right now. His construction company was handling a whole lot of business
Oh
over there.
yeah. Dick Cheney was making
Cheney,
crazy
that's him.
money, man.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you the one to help influence the war and you making money off it?
That's why he wants a war.
That should be so illegal, and somebody should have been.
But the calculation is, I'm willing to sacrifice all these people
Yeah.
to make this money.
So when he gets out of office, he's just.
But then he got sick and just.
Yeah.
You can't do that to people and watch God and God just stand by.
Yeah.
I see you got something here. 7 principles that Generation Z needs to navigate the world.
Yes.
7 principles. Knowing the difference between a good opportunity and a God opportunity. Now that is a worthwhile discussion.
Yeah. And somebody asked me that in the class, and then it was
I
an
wrote
article
that.
I read.
I wrote that somewhere recently. Good opportunity versus God opportunity.
Yeah, and somebody brought an article brought that up,
Mhm.
and it came about a career. So somebody comes to you about a career opportunity,
Right.
more money, promotion, etc.
right.
How do you consult that person to know the difference between more money doesn't mean it's God?
Well, I think what happens is, and what I've done historically, my earphones just cut out. What I've done historically is start to ask about the environment that they were going into. But immediately when you said that, a good opportunity versus a God opportunity, what sprung up in my mind was the biblical example between Hagar and Sarah. For Abraham, Hagar was a good opportunity, but was not a God opportunity. So, because he wanted to produce something, Hagar was available, but it wasn't God's preference. So it wasn't that Hagar was a bad opportunity or a bad move, because it was allowed within the law. It just wasn't what God wanted. So sometimes it's just as simple as, is it God's will? Is
Sorry, I'm trying to find it.
Is it God's will? It's on. I'm back on now. Okay, let me help you.
Come on.
You did
All
something.
of this out
You
is
did.
gonna
You
be
did
worse.
something.
Get this on camera. She's like,
Hey, y'all.
We carried you out of your house in a wheelchair. At least we can do is get you up off the ground.
Bishop Evans.
Well, we did.
Right.
Right. So I think that number one, is it the will of God? Is it God's preferred will? And I think the fine line between preferred and permitted is that the permitted offers most of what the preferred does.
okay,
Which is why we're tempted to go with what God permits.
right,
The preferred the difference in the preferred is the permitted is man empowered.
okay,
The preferred requires the assistance of God.
okay,
Abraham did not need assistance actually to get Hagar pregnant.
right,
But they did need supernatural assistance to get Sarah pregnant because of what it was attached to. The second thing is the immediate reward consistent with what you want in the future. Because a lot of times we will get enamored because of increase in dollars,
Right.
but go into a situation where once we get there, the stress and all the other stuff make the dollars not worth it. Another thing I think that happens is that we don't think about the type of situation we're going to. So if you've been in a corporate situation and you go into a family business where the family is the CEOs,
Right.
the secretaries, and everything else, you're going into a place that's entirely different than a corporate environment. The money might be sweet, but can you stand the politics of a family-owned situation? But I don't think we think about that. I think the saints think, I got another title, I got a little bit more money, this must be God.
Right.
Not always.
Not at all. Yeah.
Not always.
That is very true.
Okay.
So it's really just walking the person through the scenario.
That's all I do is just walk through.
You figure out, okay.
What is it going to do for you? I mean, I've had people get mad with me, really upset, because I said, I know what you're thinking, but that's not the Lord.
Okay.
And then they find out later that they were going to a business that was being sold, shut down.
Right.
I saw a guy promote a guy because he had something against him. Watch this. I saw a guy promote a guy into a regional manager's position, knowing the company was getting ready to wipe the region out.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
I saw him do it.
Golly.
Lethal. I saw him do it.
Jeez.
Promoted him to a position he knew the company was going to eliminate in less than 30 days. So the guy moves everybody. Family, bought house. He stood back and watched him do it. Got settled, boom, got fired. I saw it with my own eyes.
Golly.
Doc, that industry I was in was lethal. That industry I was in was
cold.
Doc, I saw it with my own eyes. It was lethal.
Jeez.
How you buy a house, uproot your family, get your kids in another school, wait till all that happens, and you know once you get settled, I'm getting ready to wipe that region out.
That is
And
so cold.
I send you there for it to happen to you.
See, that, again, back to my problem is this. I have a problem with you. Why do I have to make your family suffer for it? That is so cold and just...
They don't care.
That is...
I saw stuff like things like that over and over again.
And see, this is where I like capitalism. But you have capitalism in the hands of depraved people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And willing to do anything to maintain that system.
Absolutely.
I
Let's
got a problem
talk
with
to Danny. Hey, Danny, how you doing?
Bishop, good morning. Good morning, Pastor Nick, staff,
Morning.
everyone. How you doing today?
How you doing, my brother?
Very good today. I can't complain at all. I'm just enjoying the program, and just I said I was going to call, but I was listening, and I just keep going back to the series that you have going on, and it's been such a blessing into my life. And you said something a couple of weeks ago about God using you and sometimes reshaping and remaking you and what have you. And the example that you gave as you went up higher, that you'll be a vessel that he'll be able to pour out of you into another vessel.
Right.
And that's been a great experience for me, because I truly understand that you'll be able to help other people and pour that's within you into someone else. And I've had so many friends and people on the job that are going through different things, and they've just been constantly coming up asking different questions. And I have a friend that's going through a hard time, and his father is, very, very sick. So I was able to use things that happened to me last year, when you're faced with those situations, to help them on. And I realized how much you all put into actual studying and preparing yourself. It's means so much. So continue to do that. I just want to encourage you all.
Thank you, man.
The church, the staff, everyone, because you're touching so many people that you never even met or what have you. And I just want to thank you all. If you keep saying it over and over again, thank you, Bishop. But I really mean it.
We appreciate you, man.
We appreciate you and the staff, everyone. So once again,
thank
God
you again.
bless you all.
How's my sister doing? She all right?
She's doing great. She's doing great.
That's good. Tell her I asked for her, man.
We'll do.
Appreciate your call as usual.
Okay.
All right, man. Talk to you soon.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
You're doing a service tomorrow. I mean, not doing a service.
Oh,
but
that's
bring
right.
Oil tomorrow. Yeah.
Everybody, bring your oil to church tomorrow. We're going to consecrate your oil. That oil that you use for prayer, that you anoint parts of your home, and when you go to the hospital, Those of you that carry blessed oil with you, want to bless your oil tomorrow in church. Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Do you think more people would serve in church and have a servant's mindset if they understood what reaction heaven has to that? Saying, when I serve, I'm pouring out.
Right.
Which means God has to pour into me.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for a move of God when I can initiate the move.
Right.
By serving in ministry,
Yeah.
serving in the church I've been assigned to, which means I'm serving people.
Right.
Because your service is an investment
Right.
in the place where God has placed you, in the people God has assigned to your life. Because watch this. Pastor Anthony taught me this. The oil doesn't fall where there is no service.
Right. Right.
So serving, if we see people that look like they missed it, David's brothers are in the house. He's out in the field serving.
Right. Yeah.
The oil follows him.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So and then those who were standing around waiting to get anointed missed it because the servant walked in.
Right.
The servant was considered a lower individual. So David's out there tending the sheep. That's a dirty job. But he's serving the sheep, serving his father, serving his family. He comes in, only one gets anointed. Because the anointing does not fall on someone who's not serving.
Right. Well, all of Jesus' disciples were working before
Yes, sir.
before he called
Yes,
them.
sir.
And they were the ones that the people
Yes,
said
sir.
you shouldn't call that one.
That's sir. But they were serving.
But they were busy doing
They were
something.
busy doing something. They're busy doing something.
And Jesus says the greatest of all is the servant of all.
That's right.
You want the greatest title?
And is that why the oil was on him so heavy?
Yeah. But that goes against our me first.
And I don't understand
Society,
that
yeah.
what causes the catalyst to happen
Yeah.
is when God sees me putting out or pouring out,
Yeah.
he has to maintain the flow.
Right.
So he starts to pour in. How many of us we're waiting for a move of God and don't understand that the move can't start till we initiate it
Right.
by serving the kingdom.
Yeah. Gotta do
Serving the church where you're a part of.
Yep.
You know, serving one another. Because you serve your church, you're serving one another.
Yeah.
And Philippians, my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory, is God's reaction to the ministry being served.
Yep.
Okay?
No, it makes biblical sense.
Yeah. So, you know, you wonder why folk are blessed or not blessed.
Yeah.
Find out if they're serving or not.
Absolutely.
Are they on the choir? Are they on dance ministry? Are they ushering? Are they greeting people? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And wonder why you're stagnant.
Yep.
The oil can't flow if you're not serving.
Absolutely. That's something.
Yeah, man.
He anoints you to do something.
That's right.
It's like
That's
it's so
right.
simple, it's ridiculous. You're
That's
anointed for something.
Right. But me first.
Yeah. In a me first society, that's hard to, especially for oppressed people, where we're used to being all about what about me. But it makes it to cure that what about me is to do stuff for other people.
Well, here's the thing. So we're hoses.
Yeah.
You want to wash your car. The water gets turned on at the house, flows through you for the purpose for what you want to use it for.
Yep.
If there's no purpose,
Right.
and you're not willing to work and being flown through, the house never releases what it has for you.
Right.
So what happens? I start working, and God from the house releases that oil
Yeah.
because I have a purpose
Right.
that I want to fulfill.
Absolutely.
Well, we're out of time. Certainly not out of conversation. I want to thank you for joining us once again on OnPointe, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. at David G. Evans 1 on any smart device. Always join us. Tell somebody about us. From our world-famous co-host, Reverend Nicholas Smith, our wonderful staff, I want you to stay strong and stay safe. And remember, come to see us tomorrow. Go to somebody's church tomorrow. And remember, faith acts like a thing is so. Even when it's not so, that it might be so. God bless you. See you next time on OnPointe.